In the citadel of Susa, in the 20th year, Nehemiah served the king, but his heart was full of fear. Hanani brought the news of the city of his birth, that the walls were broken down, the lowest place on earth. He sat and wept and fasted. He prayed to God on high. Remember now the promise, Lord, and hear your servants cry. We've sinned against your statutes, we've wandered from the way, but grant me mercy in the sight of the king I serve today. He took the wine to Artaxerxes, a sadness on his face. The king said, "Why so weary? Is there sorrow in this place?" Nehemiah breathed a prayer and said, "My Lord, the city lies in ruins and in ashes, beneath the desert skies."
What is your request?
The king asked with a smile.
Send me back to Judah for a little while.
Give me letters for the timber and a guard to keep me fast. And the king granted the favor
For the shadows of the past.
He reached the city gates by the middle of the night. He circled around the ruins by the moon's pale light. The officials didn't know what he carried in his hand until he told the people,
Let us rise and build the land.
Sanballat and Tobiah, they laughed with a sneer. Will you finish in a day? Will you conquer all your fear? Even if a fox should climb upon your wall of stone, it will crumble to the ground
And leave you all alone.
But the people had a mind to work and build a gate, from the sheep gate to the fish gate. They didn't hesitate. The priest and the merchants, the daughters and the sons, every man stood in his place until the work was done. The enemies grew angry. They plotted for a fight to strike the workers down in the middle of the night. So Nehemiah stationed guards with a sword and a spear. Don't be afraid of them, for the Lord is very near. With a trowel in one hand and a weapon in the other, every builder stood beside his neighbor and his brother. The trumpeter stayed close to the leader of the host, ready for the signal from the mountain to the coast. But a cry rose up from the poor and the weak. Our brothers charge us interest for the bread that we seek. We've mortgaged all our fields and our children are in debt. And Nehemiah's anger was the fiercest fire yet. He rebuked the wealthy nobles,
Give it back today.
walk in the fear of God and
Take the greed away.
He shook out his garment, may God shake out the man
Who doesn't keep his promise?
as quickly as he can. Sanballat sent a message, come and meet us on the plain. But Nehemiah knew they only wanted to cause pain. I am doing a great work, I cannot come down. Why should the labor stop while I leave the holy town? They try to scare the leader with a prophet and a lie, to make him hide within the temple, fearing he might die. But he stood his ground in courage, should a man like me flee? I will finish what was started for the world to see. In 52 days the wall was finally tall, and the nations all around felt their own spirits fall. For they perceived the work was done by the hand of God on the holy mountain where the ancestors had trod. He set the gates in place and he appointed all the guards. He gathered the assembly by the genealogy of old. On the first day of the month the people came as one to the Watergate assembly. In the rising of the sun, Ezra the scribe brought the book of the law and stood upon a wooden stage with reverence and awe. He opened up the scroll and the people stood on high, blessing the Lord of the earth and the sky. The Levites gave the census, so the people understood, and they began to weep for the holy and the good. But Nehemiah said, go and eat the fat and sweet, for the joy of the Lord is your strength and your meat. They found it written there in in the law of the Lord, that they should dwell in booths with a joyful accord. So they gathered all the branches and they made a leafy shade, the greatest celebration since the promise was first made. On the 24th day they gathered to confess, in sackcloth and in ashes, for the years of wilderness. They recounted all the history from Abraham to now, making a covenant and a holy binding vow. We will keep the holy Sabbath by the power of your hand. We will bring the first fruits and the wood for the fire to the house of our God, our heart's one desire. They sealed it with their names for the future to behold. Dedication came with 2 choirs on the height, walking around the walls in the glory of the light. The sound of the rejoicing was heard from far away, as the walls of Jerusalem stood steady on that day.